Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome to this month's 20th anniversary retrospective review. Today we're throwing punches and questionable combos at Tekken 5, a game that not only turns 20 years old this year, but back in 2005 it was celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Tekken by dropping one of the finest fighting games of its era. You've seen family dramas, now watch them with roundhouse kicks. Well, they had enough machiners to start a football team, though I'm sure the pre-match handshake would have been tricky. Released for the PlayStation 2 back in 2005 after a year in the arcades, it wasn't just a game, it was a bit of a history lesson. You got arcade perfect versions of Tekken, Tekken 2 and Tekken 3, even Star Blade. It was like Namco said, well, we'll give you 5 games and a space shooter, just for being fans.
Round 1. Fight.
The game had a lot riding on it. Tekken 4 was decent, but fans were a bit underwhelmed. Namco had to go big for the series' 10th anniversary, and they did. Tekken 5 introduced smoother animations, faster gameplay, and a new focus on customizations. Yes, before microtransactions, you earned your bling by actually playing the game.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
After Tekken 4 saw a dip in sales, series director Katsuhiro Harada left Namco, feeling the pressure from the game's reception. However, his passion for fighting games brought him back after a year. Harada's boss encouraged him to return, knowing he could create something to excite fans again. Namco announced Tekken 5 at E3 in 2004, with Harada determined to make the best entry in the series yet, celebrating its 10th anniversary with a bang. The goal was to make the game more action-packed and approachable to new players, whilst keeping core fans happy. Harada and team used feedback from Tekken 4 to guide their development process. Early success in arcades motivated Namco to explore more features for future instalments. Namco implemented their groundbreaking dynamic motion synthesis technology, known as Endorphin, to create real-time 3D character animations. This technology allowed for smoother animation and sped up production. Shinjikaro Yoda from Namco was confident with this decision, and Natural Motion's CEO Torsten Relli was thrilled to see their technology showcased in the first trailer. The arcade version even allowed players to connect their PlayStation 2 controllers, a unique feature at the time. The team saw Tekken 5 as a major step forward for the franchise. Now, Tekken 5 was designed to address the criticisms aimed at its predecessor, Tekken 4, which some fans considered a low point for the series. Now, moving forward, Namco used the more powerful System 256 arcade hardware, allowing for improved visuals, detailed character models and dynamic backgrounds. The game also ran on a new engine, giving it a smoother, more polished look. To keep things fresh, Namco promised a bonus action-adventure minigame similar to the ones that fans had enjoyed in Tekken 3. Harada wanted the game to be accessible to newcomers while still offering depth for those experienced players. Early on, Tekken 5 was planning to include 20 characters, focusing on fan favourites. New moves were added to returning characters and 600 customization items were created, allowing players to tweak their fighters' looks. One standout addition was Asuka Kazama, meant as a spiritual successor to Jun Kazama from Tekken 2 and Tekken Tag Tournament. Although promotional material claims that Jun had died, Namco later denied this in interviews. For cutscenes, Namco gave each character voice lines in their native language, including subtitles. Even animal characters got their own dialogue, adding humour and charm. Producer Takai Hama enjoyed working on these features, aiming to outshine earlier entries. Now, Digital Frontier, known for its work on previous Tekken games, helped create the game's CGI cutscenes, ensuring they were as striking as the gameplay itself.
Round 1. Fight.
It wasn't just about polish, they brought back the classic feel-tight controls, proper juggling system, no more terrain gimmicks, messing up your matches. So less about tripping over rocks and more about punching your uncle in the face. God, just like Christmas. Tekken 5 introduced several new features and adjustments to improve gameplay. One of the key additions was the HOT system, which impacts a character's vulnerability during attacks. For example, moves with jumping properties like the hop kick are invulnerable to low attacks during most of the animation, adding a strategic layer to combat. The wall juggling mechanic from Tekken 4 returned, but it were rebalanced to make it harder to exploit and easier to defend against. Another major change was the ability to customise characters for first time in series. Players could change outfit colours, purchase new costumes and equip items using money earned in modes like Story, Survival, Time Attack, Arcade Battle and even the side story Devil Within. The stage design also saw improvement. Raised and lowered floors from Tekken 4 were removed, making levels more uniform except for wall placement. Now, some stages featured infinite scrolling with no barriers, whilst wall stages were designed as symmetrical arenas. Floors could crack when hit hard enough, adding a visual impact to the fights, though only one section of the stage could break at a time. Combat mechanics also shifted back to traditional air combos and juggling, similar to Tekken 3, removing the positional changes and less juggle-friendly approach of Tekken 4. These updates made Tekken 5 feel like a return to form, whilst introducing exciting new features. The story picks up shortly after Tekken 4. Jin Kazama has defeated his family again, but this time Jinpachi Mishima, Jin's great-granddad, takes over the Mishima Zaibotsu. The guy's been possessed and turned into a fire-spitting demon. As you do. That's classic family reunion when you think about it. Jin spends the game kicking corporate rivals and demonic relatives into submission. Now, come on to think of it, I think this is how more family and board meetings should be sorted. Speaking of relatives, badgers can recognise their family by smell. Yeah, useful if your uncle's a demon, I say. Yeah, moving on. Tekken 5 refined the combat, making it smoother and faster. The roster was stacked with 32 fighters, including new additions like Asuma Kazama and Raven. And let's not forget the customization options, turning Paul Phoenix into a neon fashion disaster. Oddly satisfying.
You win.
Asuka Kazama, a high school student from Osaka who practices Kazuma-style traditional martial arts. She entered the tournament seeking revenge on Feng Wei for injuring her father and destroying her family's dojo. Devil Jin, Jin's devil form which uses his old moveset based on his parental family's martial arts. Feng Wei, a skilled and arrogant Chinese fighter who practices the God Fist style. He's searching Japan for the ancient scrolls of the God Fist. Jack 5, the fifth model in the Jack series, sent by his creator Jane to recover Jack 2's memories from the Mishima Zaibotsu. Jinpachi Mishima, Heihachi Mishima's father, resurrected by a vengeful spirit. He's the main antagonist of Tekken 5. Raven, a secretive ninja agent and one of the first to report Heihachi Mishima's apparent death. Roger Jr., a boxing kangaroo duo, a mother and a son, on a mission to rescue their husband/father from the Mishima Zaibotsu. The old version of Tekken 5 includes the Devil Within mode, a 3D beat 'em up with some platforming elements. It's part of the Tekken Force series, following similar modes in Tekken 3 and Tekken 4. This time, the focus is entirely on Jin Kazama, who can also transform into Devil Jin during game. In the Devil Within, players guide Jin through maze-like levels, battling waves of enemies along the way. The mode includes boss fights featuring characters like True Ogre from Tekken 3, although he isn't a playable character in Tekken 5. It offers a unique twist for the fans of the series, letting them experience a different style of gameplay outside of the usual one-on-one fighting. Tekken 5 brought us back to what made the series great. Fast fights, wild stories and plenty of ways to humiliate your friends. And if you've ever spent a weekend mastering Law's flips or accidentally uppercutting yourself off a cliff, hit that like button. Share your favourite Tekken memories in comments, whether it's pulling off a perfect 10-hit combo or losing to someone who's button mashing with Eddie. Own it, we've all been there. Don't forget to subscribe, we've got more retro reviews, plenty of laughs and maybe even a badger fact or two. Speaking of which, badgers are surprisingly strong wrestlers, just like King. So there's your fun fact for the day.
Fight.
The story picks up right after Tekken 4. Jin Kazama flees the Hanmaru dojo just as G Corporation helicopters arrive and drop Jack 4 robots into the building. Heihachi Mishima, and his son Kazuya fight the Jacks together, but Kazuya betrays Heihachi, escaping while leaving him behind. The Jacks pin Heihachi down, and one self-destructs, causing a massive explosion that seems to kill Heihachi. Raven, a mysterious ninja, witnesses the event and reports Heihachi's death to his superiors. News of Heihachi's death spreads, and many believe it's the end of the Mishima Zaibatsu. However, someone unknown takes control, and the company continues its operations. 2 months later, the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 is announced. During the tournament, Kazuya encounters Raven, who recognizes him from Hanmaru. Kazuya defeats Raven and learns that G Corporation betrayed him and that something was awakened beneath Hanmaru. Kazuya suspects it's his grandfather, Jinpachi Mishima, who was imprisoned there by Heihachi decades ago. Now possessed by a vengeful spirit, Jinpachi has gained incredible power. Jin Kazama ultimately defeats Jinpachi in the tournament's final round. Jinpachi disintegrates, his wish fulfilled. Jin, now the head of the Mishima Zaibatsu, sets the stage for the events of Tekken 6.
Voice acting, oh yeah, it's decent, you know. You've got your grunts, your screams, and the occasional dramatic line delivery. I mean, Jinpachi sounds like he's gargled gravel for breakfast. Probably washed it down with a good brew. Yeah, did you know green tea can really improve your concentration? It's very handy, when you're dodging the old punches. Settle in, lads. This game has got a lot of voice acting talent. Tekken 5, a cornerstone of the fighting game genre, is celebrated not only for its gameplay but also for its rich characterizations brought to life by a diverse cast of voice actors, from seasoned Japanese veterans to multilingual talents bridging East and West. Born in Miyagi, Japan, Isshin Chiba has embodied Jin Kazama since Tekken 3, making him one of gaming's longest-serving voice actors. A graduate from Katsuma Voice Actors Academy, Chiba's portrayal of Jin spans games like Street Fighter X Tekken and films like Tekken Bloodlines. His tenure ranks him amongst legends like Ed Boon and Joseph D. Kuken, cementing Jin's tormented legacy. Taking over in Tekken 4, Masuri Shinohara's cold and authoritative delivery defines Kazuya's duality as a human and devil. He reprised the role in Tekken Bloodlines Vengeance, anchoring the Mishima clan's ruthless charisma.
More bloodshed.
Round 1. Fight.
The legendary Daisuke Gori voiced Heihachi with a booming gravitas, alongside iconic roles like Dragon Ball's Mr. Satan and Star Fox's Andross. Battling diabetes and loss of vision, his tragic suicide in 2010 marked the end of an era. His roles were inherited by Ryuzaburo Otomo and Usho Ishizuka, but Gori's Heihachi remains unforgettable. Tokyo-born, US-based Leslie Wilkinson brought Nina to life in Tekken 4 and 5, with her battle grunts reused through Tekken 7. Fluent in Japanese, she also voiced Christy Montenero in Street Fighter X Tekken, and hosted bilingual TV and radio shows. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn later handled Nina's dialogue, blending Wilkinson's physicality with narrative depth. Better known as StarCraft's Jim Raynor, Robert Clotsworthy's rugged tones suited Law's martial arts bravado. A narrator for Ancient Aliens and the Lego Movie video game, his versatility spans documentaries and blockbuster games. A poet and musician based in Japan, Marcellus Neely infused Eddie's capoeira flair with rhythmic grunts, reused through Tekken 6. His multicultural artistry mirrors Eddie's Brazilian roots.
Win. Get ready for the next battle.
A Tokyo-based DJ and radio host, Guy Perryman's British-Australian roots lent Steve the Boxer a polished yet gritty edge. A promoter of British culture in Japan, his career spans Virgin Megastore and Inter-FM radio.
Clan members.
Round 1.
Ryoko Shirashi's Osaka dialect gave Asuka her fiery charm. A prolific dubbing artist for Miley Cyrus and Disney Channel projects, her brief 2012 marriage and husky vocal range made her a standout. Tomokazu Seki's eccentric credits, One Piece's Rob Lucci and Fate's Galgamesh, brought Yoshimitsu's eccentric menace to life. A teacher in Japan's Newark College, his legacy spans anime and gaming. Ryotaro Akiharu's aristocratic tone defines Lee Cho-lan's cunning. He's also the Japanese voice for Scott Foley and Taylor Kitsch.
Get ready for the next battle.
David Shafuli's raspy snarls have captured Brian Fury's cybernetic madness since Tekken 4. Notably, he voiced Silent Hill 2's Eddie Dombrowski before being replaced in the HD collection. A Colombian-trained actor, Crispin Freeman's roles, Hellsing's Alucard and Naruto's Itachi, informed Bruce's intimidating presence. A self-proclaimed Shakespeare and Tolkien fan, his depth elevates every line. MMA's Crazy Pride Lady announcer Lena Headey's electrifying energy translates to Anna Williams' taunts, alongside roles in Transformers.
Get ready for the next.
The official Japanese dub for Jackie Chan, Hiroya Ishimura's fluency in English and martial arts flair defined Lei Wulong until his 2023 retirement. Hwoarang and Baek Do-san were both voiced by Hung-sang, a South Korean theatre veteran. Um's early work in musicals like The Last Empress informed Hwoarang's fiery intensity, bridging Korean and Japanese gaming cultures. And finally, King and Jak 5 stand out as characters without dedicated voice actors, relying instead on ambient growls and mechanical sounds to emphasize their enigmatic presence.
Fight!
Tekken 5's voice characters are mosaic of culture, disciplines and legacies. From Guri's tragic brilliance to Wilkerson's bilingual versatility, each actor imbues their fighter with a soul beyond the pixels. As the series evolves, these performances remain a testament to the artistry behind the chaos of the King of Iron Fist tournament. You know what? The soundtrack was stellar. High energy tracks that got your blood pumping for each match. They even remixed some of the classic tunes for the returning stages. Pure nostalgia, and that's what we're all about here. The critics loved Tekken 5 and fans adored it. Tekken 5 scored high across the board with praise for its gameplay and visuals. It sold over 6 million copies, making it one of the most successful games in the series. Now as for playtime, well, me and arcade mode is going to see you playing for about 4 to 6 hours. Add another 10 or 15 if you're unlocking costumes, finishing storylines, or just perfecting your skills. How long if you're just losing every fight? Probably forever. I mean, Tekken 5 wasn't just a game, it was a celebration of the series. And if you've ever spent hours trying to land the perfect combo, or just enjoyed the chaos of the Mishima family reunion, give us a like. Drop a comment down below with your favourite fighter, or let us know if you ever rage quit because of Jim Patch's fire breath. And don't forget to subscribe, we've got plenty more retro goodness coming your way. And if you're brewing a cup of tea, just remember to let it steep for 3 minutes. That's the perfect time to plan your next fight strategy. Before we go though, I'll leave you with this. If ignorance is bliss, why aren't more people happy? Cheerio, see you soon.